Welcome, everybody, to this special edition of the What's on Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Brinson, and I'm here with some very special people. And outside of this assignment, because I will be filling you guys in on what this is for, I want to say thank you all to you guys for not only doing up like a podcast, and I don't remember whose idea was it, but it's pretty awesome for us to do this, and then especially for my own platform. So I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna let these young ladies introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there.
My name is Nia Watson.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm the house mother.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
Hey y'all, I'm Kennedy.
And we're gonna be talking about the show Pose. So, what happened?
Nothing good.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna be talking about the show Pose, and I actually wasn't familiar with the show beforehand before this course. And this assignment that we're doing is for our AAAS course, where we watched season 2 of the show Pose, and we watched the first 4 episodes, and we had a topic of intersectionality, talking about just how the people of the cast that are cast in Pose and people of the LGBTQIA plus community or people in Ballroom may interact, or the experiences they may have with people who aren't in those experiences. So I think that'd be a pretty good overview overall of what the show is about. But do you guys, especially since I was unfamiliar with it, do you guys have any more extra thoughts y'all could give before we get into our own details? If not, we can go right in.
No, yeah, I think you did like a good job introducing it. It's really just like a show about like the core of it is really ballroom, like the ballroom culture. Like, it was like a real. It's taking place in a real prime time where ballroom was going from like, I guess, underground to mainstream. This is when Madonna first came out with Vogue. Like, this was a very pivotal time in the Vogue scene. So, and then of course, like, it centers Black LGBTQ plus people that, you know, because in the Vogue world, it's not just like LGBTQ. It's like heterosexual, all the other ones, everything. So, yeah, it was a cool show to watch.
For sure.
And just going into the written part of our assignment. So for context for you guys, we pretty much have written up, it ended up being kind of like a script, but we're not gonna stick too strict to it. We just wrote some paragraphs of pretty much breaking down each episode, and I'd let our house mother start with exactly what we wrote about.
Okay, so in our paragraphs, we are talking about specific scenes or quotes from the show Pose. We specifically watched season 2. We watched the like first 4 episodes, first 4 episodes of season 2. And with us talking about these scenes, we're also gonna connect these scenes to our class material. So it could be something we watched in class or something we read. And we're also gonna tie that into our topic of intersectionality. So, I'll go first. So, boom. Season 2, episode 4. This is the episode where Candy goes missing and they're trying to find her, but they don't know where she is. Cause Lulu, she was like, no, this is so unlike her. Like, I would have gotten in touch with her by now. So they trying to figure out where Candy is. So they're sitting in the like family room. It's the members of the House of Evangelista, plus Pretel and Electra, because Pretel isn't in the house and Electra is in her own house. But they're sitting in the living room, and Blanca, the house mother, gets a call. And the call, obviously, she got the news that Candy was brutally murdered in a motel. So, rest in peace, Candy. Rest in peace, my girl. Lulu asks, she's like, who did it? Like, you know, like, does the police know who did it? And Electra goes on to say, and I quote, the NYPD doesn't care about a murdered transsexual. We've never been treated with respect or dignity. Candy's death isn't any different. And my connection, like, we watched this movie documentary called Paris is Burning, and it was like literally I feel like there's so many connections between Pose and Paris is Burning. Like there's so many connections because it, like I said, it went on at the same time. So before I was even in this class, I had like read up on Venus extravaganza because I had heard like it was like a little theory going around that Candy was based off of Venus from Paris is Burning. So if you didn't know, well, you probably did know, but Candy nor Venus, like they were both, they were not like cisgender women. They were both trans women, and Venus, she ended up being brutally murdered as well in a hotel, and they never figured out who did it. Like her death is still what's the word, unsolved. Her case is still unsolved to this day. And just like in Paris is Burning with Venus, Candy, she was killed in a motel and they never found out who did it. Like the NYPD, they didn't put in no time or effort, or like they just didn't really care. Like Electra said, they didn't care. And I feel like with intersectionality, like this really goes hand in hand, because if the roles were reversed, right? Say this was a cisgender white woman running down the street, got killed or something. Oh, they'd be going ballistic. They'd be going ballistic. I mean, let's just look at it. The Central Park 5 didn't have anything to do with that white woman being brutally beaten, and somehow they were thrown into it and spent years in jail. All because, obviously, racism, but also they were just trying to find somebody to put on it. Like, the city was asking questions, people were scared, like, so they were just trying to get people, they were trying to get the person who did it behind bars, and that's what they usually do, and that's how wrong convictions happen. But, yeah, I just, it's just like us as black women, or even black men, like our experience is gonna be completely different from a black gay man or a black trans woman, And then just how I was talking about the experience of a black trans woman versus a white cisgender woman.
Exactly.
Woo.
I want to ask, when talking about this, do you think there's any way to sort of prevent or help that negligence or ignorance on people who may not know about this community or may not care about this community, to help them care more and help people like the NYPD take situations like this more seriously? Do you think there's anything that can help that, or do you think that people are more stuck in their ways if they were to not take people or their murder seriously?
Honestly, what I will say is I feel like in our generation, I feel like I'm very grateful to be born in the generation that I was born in, because I feel like things like that, they matter, but they don't. Like, it's just like, okay, you see a gay person walking down the street, like back in the day, people would have been like, but now it's just like, hey, like, it's like real chill, like nobody really cares,
Yeah.
But there also are ignorant people that are our age or older, younger, whatever, that have been taught to look down on people that are different. It doesn't even have to be, they were taught. It doesn't even have to be gay or trans. Even it could be skin color, or it could be a disability. Like, so I really feel like breaking the cycle definitely starts with each generation. Like, I feel like if we teach our kids, what's right and what's wrong, and like, like, just treat people how you want to be treated, not based on how you look or what you got going on. I feel like if we could do that, like with our kids, I feel like the cycle can most definitely be broken. I feel like down the line, we can definitely educate people, get people to care about it more, because it's just like, I feel like people don't understand, like, one person in a group of 10, like, it might not seem like that much, but when you think about changing something, changing somebody's mind, changing somebody, just changing in general, like, that goes a long way, because now you done planted that at somebody else, so now it's just gonna keep going.
I fully agree, and especially with something you mentioned, like nowadays it's more chill and it's more accepted to identify however you want to identify as. And I personally feel like that's totally fine and that should be the norm. Whereas we live in a time now where it feels like sometimes we progress, but sometimes we still go so far to where you would think like in 2025, things like this wouldn't exist or wouldn't still be happening, but there are still instances where I even question, I literally asked my girlfriend, like, I don't understand, even as a straight male, why another straight male would feel attacked or feel threatened just from someone of the LGBTQ community or someone being trans just living. Like, they don't have to be doing anything to you, they don't have to be talking to you, just existing creates such an anger that we'll talk about it later in my scene to where they don't even want to take money from them. Like, that is something to where it blows my mind that, I mean, I don't know if it's even framed. Like, I have on pink shoes and even something like that to be like, oh, you a guy, you're not supposed to wear pink. But it doesn't really make sense to me, and it doesn't really matter where, as long as you can live in your own identity and be who you are, and especially us as Black people, love being Black. I feel like that's the more important thing rather than thinking about who somebody sleeps with or who they choose to hang out with. I feel like that's not really as important as anything else. So I fully agree, and I'm grateful for you answering my question too. Did you have any more thoughts before we go into our next segment?
Nope, I'll hand it off to my children.
Well,
And I'm gonna make sure we still recording real quick too.
thank you, my baby.
Yeah.
We on here.
Record. Let me see.
We on here.
I'm on here.
I'm on here. Your shoes is fine.
Yes,
Thank
like
you, I
them
really
is
appreciate it. I
tea.
appreciate it.
Alright then, Mother handed it over. I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit about episode 1. Alright. Season 2, episode 1. I picked the scene where, okay, so they're on the way, they had a house meeting the night before, and Blanca and Pertel addressed that they wanted everybody to go to the protest tomorrow to advocate for AIDS, HIV. And so when Blanca went into work, man, she got done with like a couple of hands. She a nail tech. She got done with a couple of hands, and she told her boss like, okay, it's time. I gotta head out. Like, I still gotta go to this like protest. I have a thing to go to. I can't make it. Like, I can't because her boss, mind you, an Asian lady, she gave her like 2 more clients to take on, but she couldn't do it because she had somewhere to be. Right. The lady gonna say to her verbatim, she gonna say, you should be grateful I even let you work here because I'm a good Christian woman. You should kiss my feet for letting me hire you. No one else will. Ladies like getting their nails done by ladies. Mind you, this is all because Blanca couldn't take on the 2 clients that she just gave her. Mind you, it's a full nail shop full of workers that could have took this on, but she felt the need to tell Blanca that, you know, I did this for you. I don't gotta do nothing for you, like, which is crazy because, you know what I'm saying, like, and then she gonna air her out in front of the whole nail shop, like, there's clients in there, workers, like, she just kind of like threw her under the bus. But that kind of reminded me of the Black feminist thought, because one of the quotes she said, Colin said was, oppressed groups are frequently placed in situations of being listened to only if they frames their ideas in a language that is familiar and comfortable to the dominant group. I feel like the Asian lady she obviously places her as a more dominant hierarchy than Blanca because Blanca's Dominican and transsexual. So she felt that like higher power to like undermine her and like shut her down because she has stuff to do on her own time. Like, God forbid Blanca has a life outside of whatever she think she is. Like, she basically treated her like she wanted her like slave workers.
Exactly.
Like, but if it was anybody else in her shop, like, you know, one of her people, they would have been able to go freely. But it just made me feel like her boss had like ownership over her. Like, she wasn't like a co-worker in some sort of way because she does nails too. They both do nails together, but I don't know, y'all. That one kind of did it for me.
And
I don't lie.
especially I hate it. I don't know if you guys are religious at all, but as someone who is Christian also, I hate seeing how she used religion as a weapon to be like, I'm a good Christian, you should be thankful that I'm even allowing you in my presence. Like, that was something, that's not only not God-like.
And that's why people don't like Christians now. Because they think we weird, we stuck up, and all of this because of bad Christian examples.
Yeah, that is definitely not a good Christian woman to be throwing something else in someone's face on the strength of for yourself. And it's not even that she was placed in any bad position. Like, Blanca was very respectful. She told her, like, I can't make it. Like, I have something important to attend to. Like, I'm sorry. So Blanca quit her job right then and there after she cussed her out and embarrassed her in front of the whole nail shop. She quit her job.
Cussed her out.
She cussed her out, embarrassed her. Blanca quit her job and she told her that, you know what I'm gonna do? She said, I'm gonna go get my own shop and I'm gonna come buy yours too. And that Asian lady did not like that. That's when she said, ladies like getting their nails done by ladies. So, I don't know. That's just like one of the little struggles that they see in everyday life. Like, it's as simple as just a random day at work. She never had any problems at work before, but it's just as simple as that, like being deteriorated just for how she is.
And to piggyback off that, going into my scene, it's like, just like I mentioned earlier, whether it's just being in the presence or even giving them money, it's like they'll even turn that down just because they don't identify in the same way. And I think it's the same episode as yours, to where one of the things that stood out to me a lot was just how they literally tried to restrict Blanca from having her store, from starting her own business and starting her own nail store, where for the context of our episode, Blanca, or for this scene, I think in that same episode, Blanca had tried to buy her own nail shop after she was kicked out and fired from the Asian lady's store. And she got into a conversation with the landlord and the white lady. Did they ever, I don't think they ever gave the white lady a name, I'm unsure. But yeah, but the one of the first things that they mentioned in the conversation, the landlord, was that they usually don't rent out to people darker than her, but she's had good experience with Dominicans, so she's making this exception. And it goes down as they're having this conversation to where it gets to a point where she finally thinks, like, you know what, I'll sell you the store whenever you have the money, get back to me. And Blanca had the money ready, and she asked her, like, do you sell crack? And she immediately suspected that she was doing drugs or trying to do something illegal just because she had the money, just like any normal person. And just like you said, I feel like if that was someone of their complexion, then they would have sold it to him right away. They wouldn't have had no problems. They wouldn't have had the darker comment or anything like that. And if it gets any worse, I'm gonna try to cite my notes. She mentioned that she denied renting out to somebody previously because she used the F slur, and it's like she caught them bent over, and I don't know if y'all remember that scene or when she said that, but it goes to further show, like, if Blanca would have outwardly been straightforward with what she identified as, then it would have been pushed back. And it sort of gave a eerie foreshadowing to me of, like, that's what's gonna happen once they find out Blanca is transgender. And sure enough, I interpret it as the husband, the landlord's husband, in that scene where he came and asked her, like, do you know that's a man? And immediately attempted to strip that Blanca's identity away from them, to where not even using the proper pronouns, not even using the proper identity, immediately identifies them as a man. And the white lady didn't even respond with Blanca's name. They just said, like, oh, the Dominican? In that case, they have to go. And that sort of unfortunately wraps it all together to where just because Blanca identified a certain way, she was gonna be immediately removed from that store. And in the episode, Blanca tried to stand her ground and mention that she wouldn't be leaving and she's gonna try to do her best to maintain the store. But it just opens my eyes to what we were saying earlier, that these things happen in real life, that they have to deal with not only being Dominican, not only being transgender, not only being a woman, getting accused of doing other things even when they do have the money. So it's like they can't even live a normal life just from them trying to identify. And something I just thought of, and all of these scenes we've mentioned so far, Blanca was never the aggressor. It was the nail tech who mentioned that Blanca should be lucky to even work here. It was the landlords that tried to take the place away from Blanca just from how they identify it. And it just really shows that no matter how you identify as, if you're something that the opposition may not see as worthy, then they're gonna try to either take that away from you or diminish you and make you feel less
never
than.
deemed as like normal.
Exactly.
Normal being like the dominant race, white. Normal is being a man. Normal is being like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that is an oppressor.
Yeah.
Like anybody that is beneath them, they just, the scum on their shoe, like, no, like, you would think as a human being, treating another human like that is sick, but hey.
We not even human for real.
Like,
Exactly.
dang.
It's like they could
So sad to watch.
they could go as far as to forget that human aspect to where even the husband mentioned when they were talking to the landlord, like he was saying she was so self-centered that she couldn't realize anything outside of herself. But in that same statement, he's not realizing how he's dehumanizing another person. And we had conversations in our class about like understanding patriarchy and like those type of articles where there was a quote that was talking about, I think we talked in class, where people try to find control in taking away control from others. And that was something that really stood out to me, to where it was another woman doing it to another woman. Just even though she was white and a landlord and had authority, seemingly authority over her, she tried to use that, and the husband tried to reinforce that just because they viewed them as less than. And that sucks to me.
Yeah.
And going on, I think this would be a new episode for episode 3 for the next paragraph.
Oh yeah, that's mine. So yeah, I did episode 3. In this scene, this is when a lecturer was working as a mistress at the do y'all know what the place she was working at was called?
She got like, was it a hotel or an apartment?
Like Hellfire or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, she was working as a mistress, and she had one of these wealthy clients that she was working with, and he just so happened to be on drugs, and he overdosed and died while
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that scene.
while she was working with him. Mind you, she wasn't even in the building. Like, she had walked away or whatever while he was doing this. He had like some type of, was it a gas mask? Or,
Oh yes.
yeah, like a gag mask on. And so she was like terrified, or like I would say she was afraid, and she like instantly panicked and like just left the scene because of course she thought that if she caught the police, they was gonna instantly blame her or just like arrest her or put her in jail for something that she didn't do. So she called her friends or whatever, and they was basically just like talking over the situation of what happened. And one of her other friends, I forgot their name, but she told a story about how she had an interaction with a white man in a car, and like they were doing what they were doing or whatever, and my bad, y'all.
Take it down.
So they ended up getting into a fight, or the white man basically ended up being, they ended up getting into a fight, and the white man was like beating on her and stuff, and the police showed up. And when the police showed up, they didn't like even question the trans woman or anything. They just instantly went to the white man and asked what happened and threw her in jail for no reason because she didn't do anything wrong. So that instantly convinced a lecturer to like not call the police, not get them involved, and just take matters into her own hand. And they decided to hide the body. So they called one of their other friends. I don't remember. You don't know who it is? I don't remember.
Lula or Candy?
I know she was with Candy, but it was another person. It
Light
was,
skin?
yeah.
Lulu.
Lulu, yeah. So they called her, and they like basically conspired a plan to hide the body. I think they ended up putting it in like some type of suitcase or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the quotes that stuck out to me while they was doing it was, she said, "The world could be a cruel place, especially for women like us. We don't like what we have to do to this man's body, but we have no choice." And I feel like they didn't have a choice because they were gonna be like thrown in jail because they're going against some white man that back in the how do I say this?
It was like what Angel was saying, like of course the finger's gonna immediately point to them.
Right, like they
Like-
feel like they were instantly gonna be just thrown in jail or be
Misunderstood.
blamed, yeah,
Right.
for something that
Yeah.
they really didn't do. So I kind of related this to understanding patriarchy because it was basically saying how the system is built to protect white men and like Electra knew that she wasn't gonna be protected or wasn't gonna have no type of say so if she did go to the police. So yeah.
Not gonna lie, this might be a little controversial, but Electra, she be saying some crazy stuff, but that be real. Electra be saying she be saying the hard truth that nobody ever wanna hear. but
It be the hard.
It be the
truth.
hardest truth, and the way that she be saying it be so disgusting, but the message be there. The
Could you-
message is always there.
Would you have an example for anybody that isn't familiar with the show? Not to put you on the spot if you don't.
Like, what did she just say? What was your quote with Electra? She just said something crazy, like,
She said that NYPD doesn't care about a murdered transsexual. We've never been treated with respect or dignity. Candy's death isn't any different.
basically like saying that like nobody's gonna give a freak about Candy, like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna care about Candy, which is sad to say, but it's real because like the only people that knew Candy were the people that was in the ballroom. So like it's so easy for your reputation to just be stripped and for you to like basically not even have your own identity outside of like that small environment.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it wasn't like even the club that they would like do their ballroom in is small. It's not like a big old establishment. Like,
Yeah.
it's max 100 people in there. So like that's just a very very small community that they have. So like even like Electra saying that like it's sad to hear, but it's real to say. So like I really do like Electra as a character. I feel like she kind of she's our sassy character. Like she brings all the sass and she's not gonna hold back. What was that scene where she flipped the table? Did y'all see that?
Oh yeah. Because was that when she
she didn't
left?
go to the protest.
Mm-hmm.
They was mad because she didn't go to the protest, but she was like, protest for what? All they gonna do is put y'all in jail.
Yeah.
What they do? Get thrown in
Put your
jail.
ass in jail.
Oh, that's about the
I mean-
protest when they went to church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went to the church.
They
Alexa didn't show up, and they cussed her out when she got back. Cause like, why would you not come to support us at least? But I mean, like what she said was like, it's with Electra, it's always a devil's advocate. Like you never want to agree with what Electra's saying, but it's on the other hand, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and it's for context, there was a scene where there were some people a part of the house, and I want to also explain that dynamic as well later, but there was a scene where part of the house decided they wanted to protest at a church to sort of obviously protest and get their point across that they're people too, that there's no need to be killing them and treating them poorly, but the character Electra felt, just like you mentioned, that it's sort of a lose-lose because they're gonna be assaulted anyway, and that's what ended up happening in the church. And I wanted to also think about how you were mentioning how they they're in their house and they have to sort of fend for themselves. And I was just thinking that even the whole dynamic of a house and where they have to go in their ballroom, you mentioned that it was small and they already have to close themselves off from a part of the world to where they can't even outwardly identify as themselves. And to be able to have to not only deal with that, but misrepresentation and misunderstanding, you can understand an Electra who decides to pretty much fend for herself and understands that nobody or majority of the people out there in the world aren't really gonna care.
Aren't there for you how you expect them to be there.
And that's like a hard, just like you were saying, it's like
But
a hard
she's
truth.
she's the oldest in the show, right? Electra's the oldest in Ballroom.
Mhm. Oh, I don't know if
I mean, Purtell. I mean, I know he's not in the house. He's just an announcer, but like,
she probably might be one of the oldest when they're on the show.
so she an OG. So I mean, Electra kind of just the unk that you never trying to hear from, but the word be real. So.
And before we end off with Anaya's part, I want to just not only thank you guys again, but I personally recommend Pose as a show. Like, especially just going from 4 episodes to season 2, it really enables conversations like these to where it's more than just
Get at 'em.
ballroom or just one dynamic of a show. It really tackles a lot of serious issues, and it's really real. Like it puts a lot of it.
It's just like everyday life, really. Like
Exactly.
it really reminds me, like Angel was saying in the document. Like if you were to just like watch Pose like with no regulation, and then watch like Paris is Burning, you would kind of feel like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
The acting is very good, very good.
Would you like to end us off tonight?
Okay. The scene I chose was with
Wait,
Angel.
what episode is this?
I think it's episode 4, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We gonna see.
I
Right.
forgot. Okay, but the scene I chose was with Angel, and it was when she was doing her modeling photo shoot. Basically, in this scene, Angel got asked to do a photo shoot, and she accepted it because she didn't have like a whole bunch of money or anything to do anything to have like a big photo shoot like with like something like humongous. And this the guy that asked her to do it, like she didn't have to pay that much, and it was like she wanted to do it because her dream was to be a model. And basically during the photo shoot, after like he took regular pictures of her, like she didn't have enough money to pay for it or anything. So then he started taking pictures of her like naked and touching her and saying things that made her like very uncomfortable, and he described it as like using it for a different perspective or like an artistic view. And like she was vulnerable and she cried, and she felt that like she wasn't gonna ever be able to be an actual model because of the pictures he took and kept, and like she didn't want everybody seeing them. And I connected this scene to the article
Analytical.
Oh,
Anatomically.
yeah,
Don't
that
come
one.
The hold us accountable. Listen.
Hold on, wait.
The quote said, "The profitable anatomizing of the captive body provides another angle on the divided flesh. We lose any hint or suggestion of a dimension of ethnics, of relatedness between human personality and its anatomical features between one human personality and another, between human personality and cultural institution." I connected it to the scene because the quote in the scene show how trans bodies or anything of a different sex can be objectified or dehumanized. And because of what she experienced, I feel like that connects, because like he was using her body as an object because he thought it was interesting, and using her vulnerability to take pictures, and knowing that she didn't have money to pay for the photo shoot. After telling her one thing, he did another.
And it kind of makes me look at the lady that gave her that number kind of sideways, cause she was like, I send my girls here, like tell them I sent you, Here, give you my discount. Was that your discount? That was your discount for real?
Yeah.
And it sucks that just how we've highlighted in this episode, that experience is very dehumanizing. Like just because they didn't have enough money, that made them strip down.
Mind you, Angel's a transsexual woman.
So it's like, it was, whether you fetishize and predatory, it's all of those things wrapped into one. And it was another one of those moments where you uncomfortably feel how real this show is. And it shows just how predatory people can be and how people can take advantage of people. And this whole show, for these first 4 episodes, really shows just how much people have to get through, to where it's not just they have to live in their own identity and get through that. They have to find money to make a living. Some places won't hire them. Sometimes they have to do other things for money. Sometimes even that gets them hurt or in danger. And it all unfortunately ties to the fact that just because they identify a certain way and people don't identify with them, they assault them or kill them or try to dehumanize them. And just like I've said, it sucks. But this show, just like we've also said, has a good way of, if you interpret it properly, really showing you that this isn't how you're supposed to treat people, and it makes you show that you never know what a person may go through. That Blanca is trying to run a house, trying to get a job, trying to run another business, the other people at the house trying to photo shoot, and there are so many moving parts to their community to where the literal only thing that keeps them together is each other.
The family.
Yes.
The house, which is, see, because Blanca, the mommy, she been keeping them together. Like, Blanca got Angel together. Blanca got, what's his name? What's that guy name?
Ricky
No,
or
the,
Dylan.
no, the ball, he do ballet.
Ain't his name Ricky?
No, Ricky,
Oh, Ricky. No, Ricky, the other one that was messing with Pray Tell.
anyways, y'all.
No, his name Damon.
Damon!
Mm.
I
like-
said
Oh,
that.
my fault. But yeah, I like how they are just one big happy family. I'm glad that Blanca got her house that she wanted.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And just to explain, the dynamic of a house is pretty much, we kind of said it earlier, it was a space for people in Ballroom or for the LGBTQIA plus community to have a home and have somewhere to have people that relate to them and also have somewhere to be safe. And as a house mother, would you want to end us off?
I don't know. Love my kids. The house of Chewy. We the best house, the only house to
Wait a
ever
minute.
come out of AAAS.
Okay.
What is we 202? Which one we is?
202.
Yeah.
Shout out Dr.
All the
Wilmot.
other houses. What's their names?
We don't even know.
We
these
don't
names.
even know y'all
Oh,
names
man,
because
look.
y'all weak.
And that ballroom that's finna come up, we finna eat y'all down. So watch out.
Chewy.
All right, Chewy out.
But shout out Dr. Wilmot, shout out all our classmates.
Yes.
And this assignment is really cool. Thank you guys again for doing this. And
Go
don't ever-
green.
go white.
Black. Cut the camera.
It's over.
Don't ever hesitate to tell me or us what's on your mind. Thank you guys for tuning in with us, and I hope you guys will be able to come back for another episode. Or I
Yes.
hope I was a
Thank you
good
for
host.
having us.
No problem. at all.
Yes. Brr.
Better get
That
it.
was
Listen,
funny.
man.
I bet our shit was like